I can't actually say where exactly my fear of going to the dentist came from. For me, there wasn't the classic childhood experience of an evil dentist that completely traumatized me. I always went to the dentist as a child without any major issues. The only problem that developed over time was that I never had braces as a child, and as time went by, my teeth became increasingly misaligned and crooked. I was really ashamed of them. It was also kind of a taboo topic. I never really talked about it with anyone. As a result, I just became scared or even ashamed of going to the dentist because I would ask myself what they'd think of me. Of course, I still kept cleaning my teeth as always. I didn't have poor dental hygiene. My teeth still looked dreadful, though, all misaligned and crooked. And so, as time went by, at some stage, I became too ashamed to go to the dentist. The feeling just took on a life of its own. 6 months became a year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't even know how long it was now. In the end, it was almost 8 or 10 years. Then there was a big event in my life, a point at which a few things changed. I thought to myself, it's time, you're going to see this through and deal with your teeth. It was just a sort of feeling that suddenly came over me where I said to myself, I have to do this now, particularly because, as I said, I never really smiled properly in photos, and whenever I met new people, I would never open my mouth properly because I was just utterly ashamed. That just wasn't me because I'm normally a really outgoing person who'd be happy to approach other people. It just took a toll on me. It was a really big issue for me, but I never talked to anyone about it. And so it was at that point that I said to myself, this is it. You're going to get it sorted now. So I sat down at the computer, spent a bit of time on Google, and relatively quickly came across Dr. Desmyttère in the search results. I had a little look at the website. Everything sounded great. It seemed really nice, and so did the site. So I called up a few times, or tried to call up, shall we say. I think I hung up straight away the first time, but then when I tried again, I got through to a woman on reception, gave her a brief rundown of my story, and said that I'd like to book a consultation appointment. I said that I didn't really know what treatment I needed. I mean, I thought I needed some treatment, even though, funnily enough, I hadn't experienced any pain. I just said that I needed someone to have a look at everything. Then came the first appointment, and my heart was racing. I didn't sleep the night before. I think actually I ended up going on my own. My husband would usually have come with me, but he couldn't make it. And so that sort of doubled everything, going there on my own, absolutely terrified. In actual fact, Dr. Desmyttère wasn't at my first appointment. I think he was on a training course or something. One of his colleagues was there. We had a chat about what my problem actually was, and she had a quick look to see what needed to be done. However, she said I should definitely make an appointment with Dr. Desmyttère because he would take care of me and would be the one performing the operation. Then came the second appointment. My husband came with me that time, and I had a detailed conversation with Dr. Desmyttère right here in the waiting room. It was just a completely relaxed atmosphere. For me, it was the first time there wasn't a dentist in a white gown on one side of the table with me, the scared little patient, on the other side. Instead, it was actually a totally laid back discussion, just like it would be with a friend. He also didn't really go into details about my phobia. Instead, he treated me relatively normally, was very laid back, and, as I said, just sort of talked to me normally, just like you would with a friend, saying, this is what needs to be done, but we'll sort all that, and it isn't anything all that dramatic. In fact, he didn't go into my phobia at all, and I found that really refreshing. It did me a great deal of good knowing that I wasn't being labeled as a chicken straight away, but that, above all, someone was taking me seriously. I also got the feeling that here was someone who wanted to help me without pointing a finger at me. Of course, there was some work to be done. I had my wisdom teeth taken out. It was a relatively major operation. I think it was 5 or 6 hours. It was really a complete overhaul under general anesthetic, the full package. I was also a little afraid beforehand because it was the day before a public holiday. The next day was a public holiday, and then it was Friday, so it was basically a long weekend. And so I asked what I would do if I needed anything, but then Dr. Desmyttère said to me that I could reach him via email at any time, that he'd keep an eye on his inbox at home, and if I needed something, he'd get in touch. Dr. Rachval also gave me his mobile number in case I had any queries after the operation. It was simply excellent service. In actual fact, I had my 4 wisdom teeth removed, as I said, and then 2 more teeth taken out, implants put in place, and a few other little treatments. So it really was a giant operation. I didn't have any major issues. There was no swelling at all, and I didn't experience any significant pain. I didn't need any painkillers either, as far as I can remember. I might have taken a few prophylactically on the first day, but everything was fine. So then, although my teeth had been overhauled, they were still misaligned and crooked. However, Dr. Desmyttère is also an Invisalign practitioner and asked me whether I would perhaps consider undergoing Invisalign treatment. I actually didn't spend too long thinking about it because I said to myself, you've already taken this massive step and overcome your greatest fear, so you can do this bit now as well. And so I seized the opportunity and opted for an Invisalign treatment. My husband still came with me for a long time, even though I actually didn't need him to anymore. But I was just so used to it. He'd come with me and we'd go there together. Eventually, though, I said, I don't need you there anymore. I'll be fine, because I always got such a warm welcome here. I came here an awful lot after that for the Invisalign treatment. You need to have appointments every 4 to 6 weeks to get the new braces. It was almost like going to work in the end. It got to the point where I could have made the journey in my sleep. I mean, I wouldn't say that I look forward to coming here or pretend that it's my favorite thing in the world, but it has become normal for me. I sleep well the night before. I don't dwell on any thoughts, worrying about having to go to the dentist. It's become an entirely normal thing for me. From my experience and how I've found the treatments here, I can really only recommend that everyone battling with fears or who has problems with their teeth should take that step and call up. The team at the practice will take care of everything else.